this is our reception area. Most of our business comes to us through vet clinics, so about 90% of our business is vet clinics. About 10% come to us directly. This room is really geared more toward the people that come to us directly. It gives us a chance to show the different kind of special order urns, and people can come in and take a look at that physically. But that's mainly what this room is, just receiving people who come in to see us directly. Back through here. Is our grieving room, and this is where people will come in and sit down, often with their pet. They're welcome to bring their pet in and set it down here, sit down with us and make their choices as far as what kind of service they want, whether they want paw prints, anything like that. So we'll take that information here. Then we will leave the guest and their pet here to say their final goodbyes. That's what happens here in the grieving room. This we consider our production room. Our office manager sits here, and this is where a lot of actual production takes place. We do clay paw prints. The clay is rolled out and baked here, finished here. We do quite a bit of engraving here, so we have a laser engraver. We can laser engrave on the paw prints. We do acrylic paw prints that are laser engraved, and we can also engrave into wooden urns.
And plaques as well, correct?
We do metal plates that can attach to wooden urns. So yeah, we do that engraving here also.
And you do all of your engraving on site?
We do all of our engraving here on site. So that does set us apart from some of our competition. We don't have to send it out, wait a couple of weeks for them to come back. So that helps us maintain our 5 business day turnaround. One other important thing in here is our pickup board. So our office manager sits here and she'll take calls from vet clinics all day. And when they have a pet euthanasia ready for us to pick up, they'll call and let us know, and we make those marks accordingly on the board. I'll show you another board out back, but we kind of coordinate between those two boards where we're going to drop off and where we're going to pick up each day.
So you pick up from vet clinics every day?
Yeah, we every Monday through Friday, we're delivering and picking up at probably around 30 vet clinics that we work with around the valley.
Awesome.
Here, I guess.
And this area is when customers, customers come in.
Yeah, these are people who have come to us directly. The cremation has already been completed. The package has been packaged up, and they're just waiting here for people to come pick up.
Perfect.
Out back is where the cremation happens. So we have 2 crematoriums. It's usually loud back here, hot in the summer, cold in the winter. We have to have the door open for combustion air, but this is a little bit larger unit. We do our communal cremations in this unit, so we can do up to about 300 pounds of pets at a time in a communal load. The blue unit is a little bit smaller, hotter and louder, but we often do our premier private cremations there. So we offer 3 levels of service. Premier private, which is a human standard, so your pet will be the only pet in the crematorium at a time. We also do private cremations, which is the bulk of what we do. Private means there will be multiple pets, usually 2 to 3 pets in the crematorium at a time, but they're physically separated either with physical space or metal pans, just to ensure that the remains are returned. Only your remains, only your pet's remains, and no one else's. But so that happens in the crematoriums. This is kind of our morgue section. So at every vet clinic we work with, they have a freezer at their location. So our driver is picking up the deceased pet from their location, comes back here and goes into one of our freezers. We essentially have a freezer for every day, a couple more for communal pets, and then one for paw prints. So pets that are going to need a paw print go into that specific freezer. They come out in the morning to thaw out a little bit so the paw print can be taken. These boards here are kind of our production board. So we have one for each type of service that we have: premier, private, private, and communal. Paperwork above the line is for paw prints that need to be taken. So that remains above the line until it's taken and then verified. So until the paw print is taken and verified that it's been taken, it stays above the line. When it comes below the line, like this one here, you can see it has been taken on the 6th of October, and someone has come back and double checked to make sure that that has in fact been taken. So then when it comes down below the line, then it's available for cremation. We essentially work in a first in, first out. So the paperwork to the right is the next in line. It came to us the most recently, the most farthest out in date. So that'll be the first one to be cremated, and we'll work our way back that way. Same thing for private. You can see most of our work is private cremation, so multiple pets in the crematorium, but physically separated. And then communal is a little bit different. We don't do that in a first in, first out. We kind of wait till we have the right size load, get about 300 pounds in at one time, and then do it that way. This is our communal tracking board. So right now we have 228 pounds of communal pets. Each one of these numbers is the weight of an individual pet that are in the communal freezers waiting for communal cremation. Every pet that comes to us is from a vet clinic is bagged. It has a identification tag on the outside of the bag, and on that tag is written an identification number. I just happen to have a disc in my back pocket. So this is an identification disc, and each vet clinic at the time of euthanasia will attach this disc with a zip tie to usually the leg or the paw of the animal. So this animal has a disc inside the bag that says 28300.
Perfect.
That's how we maintain identification through the whole process. Our paperwork package for each pet will also document that disc number. So the disc stays with the pet, goes into the crematorium, gets damaged, but still legible after cremation. So that disc will be returned with the ashes when the owner picks up the ashes.
Great.
So that's kind of how we work from a production standpoint.
So you have the paper tag, the metal tag, as well as paperwork.
That's right.
For each animal. So that's great.
It's documented in 3 different areas: the disc, the tag, the paperwork package.
Perfect.
So after cremation, it's allowed to cool somewhat and removed from the crematorium and placed into a stainless steel pan to cool. So this has been cool for a while, but this is that disc I was telling you about, damaged but still legible.
Yeah, very much so.
29361, which matches the 29361 on that. And this is the result of cremation. So it's really just bones. A lot of people think of cremation as resulting in ashes, but ashes are actually burned up and disappear and go out as greenhouse gas, essentially, out our stacks. But all that's left is bones. They're very fragile bones, but that's the result of cremation.
And in the crematorium itself, there's a main chamber that's burned and then an afterburner. Will you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So the way they work, it's called a retort furnace, essentially. So there's an afterburner. It's a large burner that burns. In this particular furnace, it's pointed this way, and there's actually a tunnel underneath the cremation chamber. So the cremation or the afterburner burns this way, it comes out, the hot gas makes a U-turn, goes back under the floor of the cremation chamber and out the stack. And it's basically based on retention time. So the longer that ash and things that are burning up, smoke, as long as it stays in the crematorium long enough, it will burn up and be invisible as it goes out. So there's really not any pollution, no smoke, no odors, nothing like that. Then inside this door, it raises up. There's a cremation chamber, and that's where the pet is placed. And there is a cremation burner that comes right down on top of the pet, and that's what allows cremation of the pet. The cremation burner is actually half the size of the afterburner, so we burn twice as much gas, just making sure we don't create any pollution as we do. Cremation happens best at about 1600 degrees Fahrenheit. So the cremation chamber is usually at that temperature. We have to be at that temperature for the afterburner just to make sure we're burning up all the potential pollutants. So they will run at about 1600 degrees Fahrenheit.
Great.
So again, after they're removed and cooled, we do process the bones. A processor, it's essentially an industrial blender, and it pulverizes the bones into a fine dust. Again, most people are expecting to have ashes after cremation, and so instead of handing them a bag of partially broken bones,
Yeah.
it pulverizes them into more of an ash. So if someone does want to spread the ashes, they're able to do that.
Great.
I can show you what that looks like over here.
Please.
So the disc is temporarily removed. I'll just open this one up to show you. The disc is temporarily moved, the bones are pulverized and then placed into a plastic bag, so you can feel that it's almost like a sand bag.
Yeah.
And that's what it'll look like when you spread them.
And then the disc is placed back in.
Inside that plastic bag, that metal disc is residing, and so it has the same number that's on the tag. 29148 will be the disc that's in that bag, and the number that's on the paperwork here,
Yep.
29148. So it's our last double check just to make sure that we've maintained the identity of the pet throughout the process. So after they're processed, and they'll come here and sit on the table, and you can see this is kind of a good example. There was a private cremation service requested. There's a paw print requested. There's actually one thing we're waiting for here, and that's an engraved metal plate. So when that's finished, it'll all come out here. It'll all be assembled into one of our return packages. And this is essentially what our return package will look like, going back both to vet clinics and our customers that come to us directly. This is what will be included in the return package. So for vet clinics, we will pack those up, and they'll be put on this shelf here for the coming business day. So when we have everything that we need ready, in this case for Tuesday, it'll be stacked here on this shelf. This is the Tuesday that we'll be returning pets to all these vet clinics. So that's kind of our plan for where we're delivering. So those are the two boards that I was talking about. We're going to go here to deliver cremains to vet clinics. We're going to go to the clinics on there to pick up. So that's kind of what the driver does to organize his day, is drop-offs and pickups.